Hi everyone, myself Sangeeta, Assistant Professor working in IoT Department in SNS College of Engineering. This session I'm going to discuss about application layer protocols. We know that in the internet TCP/IP protocol stack or ISO OSI, it having 7-layer concept. In that 7-layer concept, the top layer is application layer. It deals with the user applications, right? So here we're going to discuss about HTTP in this session. So HTTP, it abbreviated like Hypertext Transfer Protocol, is used to define how the client-server programs are written to retrieve web pages from the www World Wide Web. So it's kind of request response protocol. In an HTTP client, usually send a request. The server will respond to the request. So normally the server port will use port number 80 and the client will use any temporary port number. So it uses services of TCP. So HTTP will use the services of TCP in transport layer. The HTTP will use the two types of connection in this. One is persistent and non-persistent connections. In that non-persistent connection, one TCP connection is made for each request and response. So after the response is received, the connection will be closed. Then again, if the client request is initiated, again the connection establishment and other thing will happen. After that, the request response will be received. After that, again the connection will be closed. So this kind of connection is non-persistent. Then if we take example, so the client and the example shows this client and server. The left hand side shows non-persistent connection. First, that it initiate the connection, and second, the handshake procedure will take place. Third one, the data transfer will occur. After that, the connection will be closed at the server side. Again, the handshaking will be initiated by the client. Again, and the response will be received. After that, again, the data transfer will occur. So likewise, only the communication takes place in non-persistent connection. In that persistent connection, first, the client initiate the connection. After that, the server will respond to that and the data transfer will take place. So after that, again, the server is still alive for receiving the request from the client side. This is persistent connection. So likewise, in HTTP works. So in the HTTP version 1.1 specifies a persistent connection by default. So the servers leaves the connection open for more requests from the client side. And the message format, we will discuss it one by one. It have 4 sections. So first section represent the request line, and the second one is the status line, and remaining is a header line and body of the statement. So the diagram shows that this is the message format. The request line having method is this space URL space version and carriage return line feed, and then header name colon space value and carriage return. Likewise, it represent and where body of the content where the content will be added in this. The response will have the status line and the header line. After that, the blank line, and finally the body of the code. So the request message, there are 3 fields in request line. One is method, URL, and version. There are several methods there. Get, post, get method, head method, put method, and post method, trace, delete, and connect options likewise. And to represent the URL ID and version of the protocol, also we have to mention it. So after the request message, the request line can have 0 or more request header lines. So we can represent it. Each header line has separated by colon and space and header value. So the body of the content present in request message usually it contains the comments to send to the send or the file to be published on the website. So it method is will be used as put or post. So there are several headers, user agent, it identify the client program, accept, it shows the media format, and accept character set shows the character set in the client side, and host shows the host and port number, and date shows the current date and time, and cookie it returns the cookies to the server. So likewise, different headers can represent. And the response message, you have the status line and a header line and body, blank line and body of the message. The first line is a status line. There are three fields in that. One is version, status code, and phrases. The status code have three-digit number. If it is ranges between 100 means we can informatical, and 200 ranges indicate successful request, and 300 indicates the client to another URL, and 400 indicates error at the client, and 500 indicates error at the server side. So state phase is the state code. Phrase code will add it. Then the response message header also have a date, upgrade, server, cookies, and content encoding and content language, length, type, and everything. So in this diagram shows how the document will be retrieved as a retrieved from client to server. The client request will be sent with a get user win image like HTTP version 1, and have the message like accept like, then response will be received like this. So finally the connection will be closed. So likewise the data transmission takes place in the HTTP client and server. The request and response message will be like this. The previous one shows that the image retrieval, then web page to the posted on the server will be looks like this. Then HTTP will also use a conditional request. The conditional request, the server will send the request web page based on some condition met, or they inform the client otherwise. And one of the most common conditional imposed by the client time is a date and time web page. And this message will be like get HTTP colon www.common server.com. It's a request line that the receiver side, the HTTP 1.0 not, if the file not found or not modified, it shows that it's not modified. So likewise, the request response message will be looks in HTTP protocol. And cookies also play a vital role here, because HTTP cookie is a small piece of data that server sends as user. Web has the functions need to store the, remember there's some information about the previous history of the client. The browser may store the information about send back and receive from the server with later request. Typically, HTTP cookie is used to tell about two requests come from the same browser, keeping the user logged in, for example. So they remember the stateful information about the last user with the stateless HTTP protocol. Cookies mainly used for session management and personalization and also tracking of information. And web proxy servers, the HTTP also support proxy servers. So it's a user keep tracking of copies of responses received from the client and server requests, and HTTP client send a request, and through the proxy server check whether the request is response of the response from the server is stored in his memory. If it is not, the proxy server send a request to the corresponding server. Then if the proxy server reduces the load to the original server, it decreases the traffic also to improve the latency. So the proxy server is like a duplicate server. So the proxy server normally located in the client side machine. So the client can also use a proxy server, and it's a small capacity that stores a response to the request of when invoked by the client. So in company, proxy server may play a vital role in the computer land to reduce the load going to the server. And ISP with many customers can also install proxy server to serve the incoming requests. Okay, thank you so much.